screen, Chrome tab. Please let me know whether you are able to see the experimental setup.
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Yes, it is actually video. I will play video after I explain it. The setup consists of the rack and pinion arrangement. See, using this setup, we are going to actually simulate the gear cutting process. But remember that I use the word gear cutting process, simulation of that. It is not actual generation of gear. It is not actual generation of gear teeth. Remember, the setup is meant for understanding the methodology which is used in a generation of gear tooth. So remember that using this setup, we can't manufacture a real gear. We are going to simulate the process of gear cutting. At this point of time, you know what is meant by a plain gear. A plain gear is a gear which has got two dimensions only. That is, if I assume that the face width is 0, then that will be called as a planar or plane gear. So this is a plane gear. The outcome of this experimentation will be creation or generation of a planar gear. So face width will not be there. It will be only simply a wheel without any face width. Now I will like to advise you to go through the various manufacturing methods of gear. So if we make a list of manufacturing methods, then ultimately you have gear hob, gear hobbing, HOBBING. Gear hobbing is one of the methods of gear generation. Then gears are manufactured using milling cutter also. In fact, in machine shop, under machine shop subject head, you might have seen the manufacturing of gear using a milling cutter, isn't it? So we are going to demonstrate the basic principle of gear cutting through this experimentation. So that behavior of HOB is similar to a case of rack cutter. In the setup, we shall assume that this is the rack, RACK. This is the gear blank, isn't it? Remember that we have got a piece of paper. On this actual circular disc, you are able to see the circular disc with this handle. On that circular disc, we have the gear blank, that is a piece of paper, isn't it? Now the generation of gear tooth, how that will be done, that we shall see. Let me play the video. When I play the video, someone please tell me that yes, you are able to see the video. The video can't be played. Why? Why like that? Just 1 minute. Let me check. Why this is happening? I'm not. Let me again share the screen and see whether the video can be seen. Are you able to see the video?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Now? Now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes.
इकडे आहे मागे माझ्या थोडंसं फिरवा बरंच हां बस इकडचं राहिलं थोडंसं आहे इकडे इकडे डावीकडचं डावीकडचं जास्त
Just wait. Huh? Why the first video is not able to start? I don't understand, because actually the first video is also equally important. I'm facing problem in reading the first video. Wait. Present now. Tab. WhatsApp. And is it okay? Are you able to see the video? Please tell me.
No, sir.
The moment you see, please reply.
Yes,
Are
sir. Now
you?
it's visible.
Just try to observe the setup. Simply setup I have shown in this video. This is a project done by your alumni in 1998, many years back, 22 years back. Just observe the back side of the setup. There is a rack and pinion, real rack, rear pinion. This is a rack, that one is pinion. Now see, this is the gear blank. We treat the sheet of paper as a gear blank, and this is actually the flanks of the rack. That is the rack cutter. What is the methodology? Initially, the pitch circle of this gear blank and pitch circle of the rack, these two are to be aligned properly. The pitch circle of the rack will be a straight line. Okay, so remember that the first step, when you stick the piece of paper onto the gear blank, the first step would be to align the pitch circle of the rack, that is straight line of the rack, tangential to the pitch circle of this gear blank. So make sure that before you start the experimental work, the pitch circle is marked on this gear blank. In our discussion, the gear blank is nothing but the piece of paper. So the first step should be ensuring that the pitch circle of the workpiece, that is gear blank, which is a circle, and the straight line of the rack representing pitch circle of the rack, those should be tangential to each other. Next to that, what you have to do is you have to place the first tooth of the rack to the extreme left. So I think that is in the second video. So let me wait for a while. Let me share that second video. Present now Chrome, WhatsApp, and the video. The second video, see what we are doing. Probably you will see that video in a short time. Are you able to see the video? The next video with the pencil.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now see what is to be done is, oh God. See, make sure that the rack cutter is to the extreme left. Are you getting my point? It does mean that manually we have to ensure that the rack cutter is to the left. There is no button, no magic, no jadoo tono for ensuring the rack cutter to the left. What you have to do? You have to use this handle of the gear blank. When you operate this clockwise, you have one type of motion, say to the right. Anti-clockwise will call motion to the left of the cutter. So by operating this handle of the workpiece, you ensure that the rack cutter is to the extreme left. So when it is to the extreme left, probably only 1 and 2 tooth may be in contact with the gear blank. So whatever the number of teeth are in contact with the gear blank, using the pencil, trace out the portion of the rack. For example, at this point of time, tooth number 1 of the rack, tooth number 2, 3, and small portion of the 4th are in contact with the gear blank. Make use of pencil, trace out the teeth. That's all. Next step, rotate the gear blank to the smallest possible extent. Say 1 degree, but 1 degree is a very small quantity. So let's rotate the gear blank through 10 degrees so that the first one will occupy position to the right of what the current position is. So rotating this wheel will cause advancement to the right, so that as compared to the last event, the greater portion of this tooth will be in touch with the gear blank. Trace out that. Trace out all, in fact, because larger portion of this fourth, larger portion of third, 1, 2 are already in contact. So all these are to be traced. Once you trace out this, again operate this handle so that probably fifth will be in contact with the gear blank. So when fifth is in contact with the gear blank, first might be out of picture. So at that point of time, whatever number of teeth are there, you have to trace out. In this way, you have to repeat the procedure. Like this. Like this. Like this. Like this. Like this. Operate the handle so that next teeth will be in touch, and so on. But this is done partially only. You have to trace out all the teeth. You have to trace out all the teeth. Okay. So let me share the PPT now. because in PPT we have got write-up and everything. So give me a few seconds, then my pen drive will be there. Subject start term 2. Which PPT? PPT is for the units, and this one is the PPT. 61. Wait. Yes. Now the PPT is there. Let me present the PPT, and this is that PPT. So PPT is there. Assuming that you are able to see my PPT, the title of the experiment is to study manufacturing of gear. The title is to study manufacturing of gear using gear generation with rack as a cutter and to generate involute profile. This is the precise title. Okay. So what is shown is you are able to see the gear blank. Remember that this is the gear blank. This is the rack cutter, isn't it? And the image that you are able to see actually shows the material which is removed out of the gear blank. So remember that the tracing using pencil on the gear blank stands for removal of material. Are you getting my point? We have got a cylindrical blank, gear blank, and we have got a rack shaped cutter. Remember that during the experimentation, whatever tracing we have shown, those actually corresponds to material that is removed from the gear blank. So the remainder is the generation of gear. Are you getting my point? So just remember that, because we have got oral examination. In oral, this may be asked. What do these tracing represent? You must say that the tracing represents actual removal of material. That is very important, okay? You go ahead, yes. Again, the same thing, whatever we have seen in the video that is shown in this GIF file. The left one shows the back side of the setup, and the right one shows the process carried out to get the gear blank, which is a planar gear. This you have seen already, okay? This slide shows different, not different, this slide shows the process of gear generation. So gear hobbing operation is shown. Now I would like to advise you to surf on Google the videos of hobbing, milling and other generation, so that things will be more clear to you. Okay. So this is all about hobbing operation. When you see the videos, those will be easy for you. Now, gear shaping operation with a pinion shaped cutter. This also you have to search on YouTube and you have to see. Okay. So please do this at the end of the lecture in the evening when you have time. And then this is the outcome of the experiment. Remember that the tracing corresponds to the removal of material. This is the removal of material, and the result is, this is the tooth. This is the tooth. Remember that the tooth that we have cut is external gear, because many times the external will ask you, tell whether the type of gear is external or internal. So remember that this is external wheel because this material has been removed. So what remains is, let me trace out the outline of the gear. So this is the outline. This is air accumulated. When you take out these chips, air will be there. So this is external wheel, remember. Okay. And this is how the experiment is to be carried out. Any doubt, please ask up to this. Uh, is this okay? Somebody please reply. I have to get some feedback so that I can proceed further.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, about the write-up, is there any confusion? I have provided you the write-up. Is there any difficulty in that? Because I will be giving you today the rack generation write-up. Please, one by one, you may discuss with me any difficulty that you have faced or you are facing or something different in your mind. Because experimentation is over. Before we stop, let me discuss with you any query whether regarding write-up is there in your mind or everything is all right. Please, you have to discuss.
Sir, are we going to get printed write-ups for the experiments? Because HOD sir said on the session that for experiments they'll give us the printed write-ups and then we'll have to fill the observations, calculations and so on.
Okay. Sir said for all subjects or what?
No, I just asked him about the that we don't have enough journal papers here. So he said that in most of the cases the printed copies will be provided. So I don't know for sure what's up with that.
Okay. See, actually, there is no problem in giving you the write-ups, and you may also write down the observations and result. But what I think is when you write, the process is about reading also. Means you will go through the entire write-up, you will read out, and then you will write. No. So I think
Yes.
it will be better if you refer, read, and write. Otherwise, in few cases, it may happen that only observations and results are written and you don't get scope to read out the material. That is my intention behind giving you PDFs and then you will write, you will read and write. That is my intention. Do you
Okay, that's
really?
fine, sir. I just wanted to confirm about what the case is with the submissions.
But do you really want the, because over the years, because I am in this college since last 20 years, okay. So every time I have given the PDF only and not the ready-made write-up because of the intention that I disclosed. Otherwise, if you want to be ready-made write-up, that can also be done. You will write down the observations and results. That can also be done. But let's decide today whether you want the ready-made write-up or the method that is being followed. Like just now, I have provided you the PDF of the rack shift, and then you will read and write. Let's decide today because that will be okay for me. Once we decide today itself, there should not be confusion henceforth. Because if you want if you want the ready-made writer printed, that can also be done. Shubham and Himanshu, you're the leaders. What do you want? Yes. Shubham, are you there? CRs of the class.
Yes, sir.
So what do you want? You want printed write-up or PDF? Yes. Sir, please reply. I'm giving you opportunity. If you want printed, that I will also do. If you want conventional, that can be also done.
I honestly think the printed ones will be better because for me personally, I'm having problem with journal pages. I don't have enough of them. I don't know about others, but I personally would prefer the printed version. I don't.
But you can buy from stationery because shops are open now, no? So you can go to shops and purchase those.
Yeah.
What is the issue with that? Or you want printed only? That can be also done. No? So let's do it like this. Give me few days. I will type those. Okay. I will type the write up and probably on Monday or Tuesday I will give you the printout. Only thing is that you must read out and then write down the observation and results. That is my expectation. If you uh, fulfill this condition, honestly, then I have got no problem. But you have to do it on your own. I mean to say, reading and then going through the observation and results because I don't have control over that. Whether you are really reading or not, that is left to you now. I trust you. So I assume that you will, once I give you the printed, I mean soft copy, of course, of the write up, which is in Word or PDF, then you will read out the contents given, you will read out the procedure, and then you will write down the observations and results. So I hope you will do that. I trust you. Okay. So give me a period of 4 to 5 days. I will do it for you, and then you can take the printout, and that will be your journal. Okay. Now,
All right. Thank
Okay.
you.
now, some of you might have written few experiments. So let those be like that only. Like ABC has written experiment number 1 in the journal pages. So he or she will take printout for second, third, and so on. Okay. So if you have written suppose 2 experiments, let it be like that only. So 1, 2 will be handwritten for that person. Remaining will be ready-made printout. Okay. So that issue is resolved now. No doubt regarding the write-up.
Yes,
Within
sir.
a period of within a period of 5 to 6 days, you will receive the soft copy, ready to print, to write results, observations, and conclusion. That is for sure now. I also discussed with you another case. If somebody has written first and second, let it be like this in your file. Remaining will be the printed one. Okay. I think the issue of the write-up is resolved now for theory of machines too. Now,
Yes, sir.
yes, thank you. But don't leave, wait for a while. Thank you means thanks for sharing with me the problem, and we have the solution of that. No query is to be left unaddressed. That is my intention. Now, see, I just forgot to mention one thing and then we shall stop. There is one term called as rack shift. Rack shift means shifting the rack away from center of this pinion. You have full knowledge of interference and undertaking occurring in case of gears. Okay, so we also know that interference is the result of excessive addendum because it is the tip of the wheel. It is the tip, outermost portion of the tooth that causes interference. Okay, so excessive addendum is the basic cause of interference. So one of the ways to take care of interference is to shift the rack away from the center if interference is to be avoided. So that is done in case of wheels. Okay. With this, I would like to stop the contents of today's lecture. Let me share my Google link for the attendance, and then you may take your lunch or you may do all your other activities. What do you feel better? Just wait, wait, wait. Control C. Also, those who are absent today, please convey to those friends that you will get the soft copy of the writing. Please fill in the form which is for the attendance. Let me check whether it is the same form or something else. Because nowadays many Google Forms are there. Yes, it is for that purpose only. Oh, where is that form? Yes, you have the Google form for the attendance. Please fill in and you may take leave. Enjoy. Thank you.